It only takes a ferry ride across Sydney Harbour to fall in love with Australia. The hulking magnificence of the harbour bridge, the elegance of the Opera House, a horizon of white-sailed yachts gliding along the harbour's craggy arms, past cliff-top mansions and seductive cove beaches. Australia is a country where the headline acts do not disappoint. Snorkelling on the Great Barrier Reef is utterly entrancing. Multicoloured corals sway, and 100-strong shoals of fish dance in front of the mast. The walk around Uluru absorbs. The giant red rock leaps out of the surrounding outback landscape. Every angle brings a new surprise, whether a cave, rock art, or an oasis-like gully. In truth, though, Australia's glory comes through in the small finds. For some, that's a brilliant restaurant that's a fusion of Southeast Asian flavours, or an atmospheric cocktail bar in a city laneway. This scene was once limited to Melbourne, but now Brisbane, Perth, and Adelaide are happily embracing it. You chat to the winemaker at the cellar door while tasting Hunter Valley Semillons or a beefy McLaren Vale Shiraz. Or perhaps it will be one of the white sand beaches, visited on a whim after pulling off the highway. It doesn't really matter which, there are hundreds of them on the east, south and west coasts. Most bring feisty surf, sweeping dunes and barely another person in sight. It's important to tackle Australia the right way though. This is a continent, you will not even come close to tackling it in one go. It's often wise to pick a few main bases and fly between them. Sydney and Perth combine big city energy with top-tier beaches. Adelaide has several world-class wine regions on its doorstep. Melbourne has the strongest cultural scene and is a gateway to the wildlife and waterfalls of the Great Ocean Road. The weather varies dramatically too. The southern states are generally more enjoyable between October and May, but the reverse is true in the tropical north of the country, which has a dry and wet season. Aim for May to October if tackling the reef and rainforest from Cairns, or exploring the rugged national parks of the Northern Territory's top end, or sailing between the beaches and snorkelling stops around Queensland's Whitsunday Islands. The other brilliant option is a road trip. Australia does open space very well, and driving gives that freedom to explore it. The southwestern corner of Western Australia makes for an easy week-long loop. You can be hanging out with stingrays in the shallows of Hamelin Bay one day, wine tasting in Margaret River the next. The east coast is the classic route for a longer trip, though. This strings together lovable surf towns, national parks, and numerous wildlife encounters. Wilson's Promontory is famed for wombats. Port Macquarie is a prodigious koala hangout. Eden and Hervey Bay are renowned for whale watching, while resident dolphins are always sighted in Jervis Bay and Port Stephens. As for kangaroos, it's almost impossible to miss them. Just be wary of them bouncing out in front of your car at dawn and dusk. Australia's secret special ingredient, however, is the brightness of the sky. The vivid, undimmed blue makes being outdoors not just appealing, but reinvigorating. The Australian sky creates the ultimate alfresco country. It's a land of kayak tours and coastal walks, of beer gardens and barbecues in parks, of surfing lessons and swimming under waterfalls. It may be a long flight down under, but Australia knows there's no better cure for jet lag than fresh air.